Hello, welcome to another episode of Sound Talk Show. Today I'm going to give you my first impression of this fantastic thing. Svalboard, svalboard datahand. Okay, truly fantastic. Now, after having it, the guy showed me Morgan Venable. The guy showed me. I think this is the best form of input device. Let me talk about that. So I'm gonna talk about this keyboard, my first impression. That's today, and I'm going to try to be short in 20 minutes. 20 minutes for this video. That's it. Usually my videos are long. Okay, so here are my favorite keyboards. Okay, all of them. These are my favorite keyboards. So this is Glove 80. This is my workhorse Glove 80. Fantastic. Okay, Glove 80. If you search for Xali keyboard blog, you'll find full review for all of them. This is Expo's Night. Okay, fantastic. Expo's Night. Okay, and this is Kinesis 360 wired. Okay, it's also great. I recommend. Fantastic. This is Ultimate Hacking Keyboard. Okay, I use it as a keyboard macro. It's also fantastic. Okay, let's see what's YouTube complaining. Stream status poor. Am I doing okay? So how are you guys? If you are here, say hi. Okay. So that covers all my favorite keyboards. Now let me talk about the svalboard datahand. Okay, so if you have questions, ask it. Okay, I got the Kinesis 360 a while back, and I can't get the Glove 80 out of my brain. I'd love to mess with the datahand, but I don't think I can adjust. Oh, this datahand, I just got it the first day, and I'm going to try to learn it. It's very simple. Okay, I'm so many things. Let me start to tell you. Okay, let me start to tell you. So this guy, the guy who created this is Morgan Venable. So apparently he's an industrial design professional. So his job for the past, I don't know, his life 10, 20 years is to design input devices and maybe others. So anyway, so meanwhile, he worked at all the big tech companies, like all the top three big tech companies. So this is actually, so he's a professional in this kind of thing. So he designed it. So now let me tell you about what is this svalboard for those of you who don't know it yet. Okay, I have written a review kind of already. So can you see my screen? Yeah. So svalboard. So originally it's based on datahand. So this is datahand. This is a device that came out around 1995, and it cost like $1,200 back then, and 1,200 or more, And but this device stopped producing since about 2009. So there's no more datahand. Okay, so this datahand, then I was aware of the datahand, but I never looked into. To me, it's just like, oh, this is fancy. Like probably coding, but it's actually not coding. Okay, but the impression, if you haven't looked into, you think it's a fancy. Oh, it's gonna take you a long time to learn and stuff. Actually, it's so simple. So I'm very greatly impressed by the svalboard. Okay, so anyway, the datahand is the first device. This is created by this guy, Dale J. Retter. Okay, he's still around. You can see him in Svalboard's Discord. We'll talk about that. Okay, so anyway, this is the first invention, and in 2009 they stopped producing. And then, okay, so this is photos I collected. I don't have it, and then then someone, in today's age, 3D printing, someone created svalboard. So this is a do-it-yourself. You can print it. The guy, what's his guy? He's kind of anonymous. He used anonymous name. So anyway, someone created this back in 2019. Okay, then came the svalboard, Morgan Venable. So he has been using datahand for like 20 years, and his datahand broke, so he need a new one, but they don't make it anymore. And so he saw the svalboard, and then he's a professional in this thing, so he created this svalboard, basically a remake of the datahand, and now you can buy. Okay, you can buy. So this can be mass produced, and he's planning to. So he showed me this yesterday, and I was just extremely impressed, because I thought. So let me show you some photos. So you can go to my website. You can see all the details, photos. I was truly impressed, because I thought the optimal input hardware, shape and method, how you move your fingers and so on, is piano keyboard. Okay, that's a long story, but anyway, let me show you. Let me start to talk about that later. So anyway, this is svalboard you can buy. Okay, in fact, I highly recommend it now. Like, even I haven't actually learned to be proficient on this thing, but I can actually recommend it if you are into this kind of thing. Okay, let me explain. So let me get into the details. Okay, so svalboard. Okay, and then so that's origin. That's kind of the origin where it came from. This thing, weird looking thing. So the creator, Morgan, we talked about the magnetic switch, extremely fantastic. Okay, let me start to show you the screen. Okay, so these switches. Okay, let me show you. Oh God, my camera is so bad. So in each finger, let's see if I can put on more light. So in each finger, you have north, south, west, east. You have 4 kind of walls. They function as buttons, right? Then you can also press it down. In the middle, press it down, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons for each finger. But for the thumb, actually also 5. So one for your fingertip, your thumb tip, one for your knuckle, and one for inward press, and one for if you move your thumb up. Let's see, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can also press this button down. And there's extra. So if you press it down, and if you push it further, there's like a mouse click action. So for the thumb, there's actually 6 buttons. Okay, but the thing is, they are magnetic switches. So I didn't, I heard of the magnetic switch before, and it seems nice, but I never looked into how exactly it works. So it's like a piece of magnet. Okay, so let me try to explain this. So you have a magnet, attached to something. So when you press it, you dislodge the magnet from whatever iron or whatever it's attached. You dislodge it. So once you dislodge it, there is no resistance at all. So there's only initial resistance. You press the magnet. Once it detached from whatever, in fact, it doesn't need to be attached. But anyway, once you pressed it, just for a millimeter, there's no resistance at all. Unlike a spring, in this Cherry MX or whatever mechanical keyboard switch, there's a spring inside. There's always resistance. But the magnetic switch is like there's no resistance. So I never thought of it, and now I actually have it and use it. It's just fantastic. Okay, like no resistances at all. So that's about the I'm highly impressed by the magnetic switch. Okay, so the key field when you talk about mechanical key switches, usually they talk about key field. So the key field, let's see if I can. Let's just show you video instead. So the key field is by this magnetic mechanism, magnetic. But the actual electronic switch is optical, what they call optical electric. So there's kind of a LED, a laser. It's not a laser, but it's kind of LED, a light. So once you press it down, it blocks it. So then the key is activated. So that's the electronic switch mechanism. But the key field is the magnetic. Fantastic. Okay, so let me go over. So, at first when I see datahand, it's like, oh, funky device. How long am I gonna learn this? But actually, that's not so. Because, if you can type on a normal keyboard QWERTY, you can type on this. Because on the QWERTY, you see, you have the home row, which is like these 4 fingers. By the way, they have tenting, so you can see, it's higher inside. Yeah, you can see it that way. Okay, so anyway, so when you type on a normal keyboard, you have the home row, then you have the upper row, and then you have the bottom row. On this, it's exactly the same. So the north wall, so they call these 4 things north, south, west, east. I call them walls. So if you want to type the upper row, you simply, nudge the north. Let's see if I can show it clearly. You simply nudge it up. So that's like the equivalent to upper row letters. And similarly for the bottom row, you see 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me show maybe in a different angle or something. So it's like it's just like QWERTY, or you can use Vorak or different layout. But it's not necessarily good if you use other layouts. So anyways, you can stick with QWERTY. Okay. So the rows, so it's actually not coding keyboard. At first I thought this is gonna be coding, so you have to do this combination or treat or squeeze these two. Actually, there's no such thing. So this device is not a coding keyboard. It's just like a normal keyboard, okay? But if you want to do coding, if you want to do Steno, I'm gonna explain, in my screen later. If you want to do Steno, this is the best thing, okay? Today you have the Steno, you have the what they call a Steno machine, and then you have the project that uses the let's see if I can quickly. Steno with computer keyboard. Okay, so it's Plover. There's a project, so it allows you to use a normal computer keyboard to do Steno. Okay, I'm gonna show you pictures later. So for Steno, you need a code keyboard. You need to press multiple keys at the same time, and this device is actually best for it. Okay, it beats all these other. There's so many keyboard trying to do that. Let me show you. Let me see. But anyway, so I think this is actually best for Steno if you want to do that coding keyboard. Okay. So let me go on to the next point. So before I thought, so let me show you my screen. Okay, so here is what Steno machine looks like. So this is one form of physical device. So there's another Steno machine. Then she's a creator of the Steno, the Plover system. So she gave a talk here, Marabai Night, and she types 240 words per minute, very fast. And then so I thought I didn't really like the keyboard-based Steno. So if you really want code, you need a keyboard, a physical Steno machine like that. And I thought a piano keyboard is the best alternative, so I thought, I was thinking, maybe I should buy one of these piano Can you see it? You know, piano keyboard, so I can program it so to type keyboard. In fact, there are people, researchers who has done that, using piano to type text. So you can read this researcher, she did research on this using piano. And I thought, you know, piano is actually the best physical input device. But now I've seen this datahand svalboard. I think actually this is the best as far as input goes. Okay, because when you move up, so you no longer on a normal keyboard, you move to the upper row, then you press, or you move to the bottom row, then you press. But on this thing, you just simply move up. You don't press anymore. Like, you just move up. So it simplifies these hand motions. Okay, let me go to the next point I want to talk about. If you have questions, ask. Okay, so but I need to let me finish because we have a lot of things to do.